Hello everyone, Siege Link here, back with another episode of Company of Heroes 2 Replays. It's been a while since I've done one of these because not only is this game similar to StarCraft 2 very draining, but on top of that I've had a lot of losses in a row. And mostly with Wehrmacht. In fact, almost entirely with Wehrmacht. In fact, I would say entirely with Wehrmacht because the one game I did was sort of a joke. And actually, now that I think about it, that wasn't even with OKW. So basically, all my losses have been with Wehrmacht, and I'm still most comfortable with them, I would say, but I've been trying to get more comfortable with OKW. I haven't really been able to do too much, but after quite a few games, I have gotten comfortable with them. I've tried sort of every faction. I tried to get used to the British, almost did, but didn't really. There's not enough anti-tank for me. Soviets, kind of getting used to, kind of not. I might play Soviets every now and again, but I'm still leaning on the Germans. And the US, I just can't get used to it all. And another thing I really like, and why I've been getting back to Company of Heroes 2, is that the new maps I like a lot more. Although I will say that this house really bugs me in the way that it works. Like, this house positioning with this, the bushes, especially with that bush there, really messes it up. But yeah, the OKW, which I'm not even sure how to pronounce the full thing of it. It's a very long word, and no one really does. Everyone just calls it OKW. So it's fine by me. And I actually had 3 wins in a row with OKW. And in fact, literally just before recording this video, I got my 3rd win. So that's what kind of encouraged me to record this. Originally, I wasn't going to record this, and part of the reason for that was that if I end up like uploading like 3 videos all at once, then there's a chance I might go on like a week or 2 break of not uploading anything. And I was like, do I space it out or do I upload it all at once? And I was like, you know what? We can upload it all at once, and it's not that bad. But now that I have 3 of them, I highly doubt I'm going to upload 3 videos within like a 3-day period or so. I'm probably going to upload the 3 videos within like a 5-day period, and if that's the case, if I go on a week break, then that's fine. I don't really have too much that I'm recording right now. I got Empire Earth, I got the weekly Among Us with Spaz. I might get a capture card soon for Smash Bros, but I'm still working on my streaming setup. It's just the biggest issue is that there's nothing really like to stream that I would not get like bored of. I did a little test stream of, I think, Wingcraft, which Wingcraft itself is already laggy combined with stream lag, so it was kind of a bad test stream because I couldn't tell like if it was Wingcraft lag or if it was actual like stream lag. This guy's playing with sort of the most common USA or USF in this game. I won't say Doctrine, but Company. Yeah, Doctrine, Company, whatever. Basically, and I mean, it's very safe to assume. Like, this is one of the reasons I actually don't like the US. Like, I would never play the US unless I had this Doctrine. Or this company, specifically. Because they don't have basically any early vehicles. The Stuart is, like, the earliest. And the one thing I liked about OKW is that I got this, and I actually bought this. I have a lot of like kind of excess money I can spend on games right now, and I don't really. There's nothing I'd want to spend it on too much. Yeah. In this moment, this guy dies because this guy's pretty weak, and I don't actually control it too well. So I've been trying to like, not use this guy as much in my games, so I don't matter too much. Yeah, the 222 you can actually get very early, way earlier than the Wehrmacht. It's actually the specifically it's the 221. And this, they also have this ability, which I have not seen do anything yet, but I assume it's like semi-useful, especially since it costs 15 gas. Yeah, basically it gives you some extra abilities. And I think it like detects vehicles, which can be nice. Yeah, one of the things I like about OKW is that you can skip some buildings if you want to. But they encourage you to sort of go a specific track. I would say that the first building, you always want to get this, the Battle Group Headquarters, you always want to get that first because of the Field Infirmary. Field Infirmaries are crucial in this game. And the fact that you don't have to build a bunker for it is something I like. And usually I don't make anything from it. Sometimes I'll get a flak half-track. But usually, I've been facing a lot of people that go anti-tank, and flak half-track, the way it works is it's kind of like a siege tank in a way. You move it forward, then you put it still, then it shoots and it does a lot of damage, but it's very vulnerable. So against, it just gets obliterated by anti-tank guns. There's no way to deal with it. This, for the most part, is pretty useless. I'm the kind of guy that would like this, but it doesn't have quite enough range, and like it doesn't fully reveal it. It's not like a searchlight. If it was like a searchlight, I would probably use it, but I don't. I've tried this out. I think it might have even been in this very game. Actually, I don't think so, because I think I was on this side. But it doesn't seem that useful to me, especially for its price. This is actually a big moment here, because I saw him moving 5 guys out at once, and as you can see, I have control of pretty much the whole map. It kind of showed that he was moving as a big group, and you want to make sure you have machine guns against that. The one thing I will say I dislike about this faction is that you don't have snipers or mortars. Specifically, mortars is annoying because it can make dealing with machine guns in buildings quite painful. Because like mortars was like the only real way to actually like attack machine guns in buildings without getting hit yourself. But that it does sort of like even it out for the fact that they have Molotovs, which are much better than rifle grenades when it comes to getting machine guns out of buildings. They even have salvage operations, which I like a little bit, but it doesn't really help too much because it doesn't work on buildings like this that, as you can see, are world. Like, they're just buildings in themselves. He split up somewhat well. Still has his truck here, but I've got a 2-2-1, so once I get it alone, I should be able to beat it. Got a molly here. Yeah, you can see him burning up. Got another supply half track, and I think I just end up building this immediately. So this is the first level, this is the second level, this is the third level. The reason you go for this is because you can get light tank, you know, you can get armor a lot quicker, but it's weaker. And this just so you can skip that if you want to and just go right for this to get medium armor quicker, medium or heavy armor quicker, which is what I do. And the reason that they encourage you to go for this is that similar to the field medics, you can get I was gonna say repair medics, but basically you can get like engineers that are permanently stationed here if you get the mechanized regiment headquarters. So if you just retrieve a vehicle, you don't have to you have to constantly keep retreating engineers to prepare. You can just use that, which is very useful and does encourage me to do it. But a lot of the time, I see people get medium heavy tanks way before it seems like they should. So usually, if I can, I'll try to go for this as quick as I can. Another thing is that usually with OKW, I see people put their trucks sort of all over the place. This one here is only real reason to do that because it acts as sort of a passive turret, so you can lock down a VP to some extent. These other ones don't have that. And on top of that, because of like the field infirmary and the repairs, you want to put them in the most defensive position possible. So I don't actually have a machine gun yet, which is a little surprising. I think I actually missed that moment where I took out the truck, but that's alright. It honestly was just like a basic, I know you're here, I can just easily destroy you now. In fact, I think I've even got a Faust out. So like it was very one-sided and easy to take out. So he's got quite a lot of cavalry riflemen. 2 of them, 3 regular riflemen, and a rear echelon. But you see, because of the medics, he's kind of keeping his guys at his base a little too long, allowing me a lot of freedom in this game. Like there's 1 guy here, 2 guys here, but there's a bunch at the base. So I've got 2 guys here capturing a gas point that's very close to his base. And I'm capturing these areas over here. Then I've got the Grenadiers here, which are fighting very effectively against the Riflemen, most notably because they've got a Veteran C1. And here he's just retreating straight into my units. And I even block him a little bit here. And with this tower, I've got quite a lot of vision as well. I don't see... I was about to say. Yeah, I don't see any red, but I do see him capturing that. So I know he's, instead of it being sort of diagonally split, it's going to be split sort of north to south here. I'm taking all the north points, he's taking all the south points. And that's fine with me. I'm not behind, I'm just evened up with him. Got a machine gun here, which this covers the sort of traditional trajectory they're going to come at you from the southwest side. Or you can angle it here and cover the VP effectively. So I bring my 221 over. Just sort of bait him into machine gun fire and infantry sections. And yep, he's retreating. Bit of a late turnaround. Actually would have been better to keep it that way. Which is what I do eventually. He's got a machine gun here. For this whole game I've been way ahead VP-wise. Once I see that machine gun, I decide to go around it. But it was a little late, so I did retreat my guys. But didn't quite realize it, but I was facing the lieutenant, who was one of the guys that can get a bazooka. Well, you can get them right here, to be fair. So I bring my infantry over. And I barely escape with my 222 there. Or 221. I keep saying 222 because that's what I'm used to. I've got a machine gun here because I had a feeling they were going to try to capture that. It's a little further back because I wanted to play a bit more safe. I think this guy just barely ended up getting away. Yeah, he's got more guys coming. I saw a rifleman coming in there and two coming here, so I wanted to sort of sandwich them, especially since I had a machine gun here. So you see I got three coming in here. One did get pinned from the machine gun he put in there, which is very nice from him. That retreat was a little early. Preparing the 222. And soon enough I get a Panzer. He actually smokes here, but does basically nothing with it. The whole reason you smoke here is so that you can approach the machine gun, but he didn't actually do that. He had it just long enough to get the cap, and then he moved behind cover, but that's not going to do too much against the machine gun. Especially when I got 221 coming up. Which took out his rear echelons, which was the only real echelon he had. He does have a major, so he's on his way to getting some tanks. Here he was able to flank somewhat effectively. I planted mines quite a few times this game. I've been trying to get used to planting mines more, and I've actually got a lot of munitions. Something I've been making better use of in my games is not using grenades as much, but instead upgrading my units and using mines more. And once I saw this big force, I was like, okay, just back up with that. Let the machine gun just do all the work pinning everyone. And then move these guys here to take out these guys. So as you can see, a lot of guys are pinned. I'm retreating with him, but they're pinned long enough that the Molly's going to do so much that they're forced to retreat. Major's alive, but that's alright by me. A lot of damage guys versus the lieutenant. The turn retreats. In this scenario, I actually retreated even though I didn't need to because neither of us could actually see each other. That's kind of like that like CS:GO moment where like both of you were in the smoke and neither of you realize you're there. Yeah, I got the Panzer IV out because I had better gas control in this game. I got the Panzer IV, and this is one of the reasons why you just go right for the Panzer headquarters and you skip, so you can get medium armor a lot quicker. And this is actually what really won me the game here, because he ended up going for this, the motor carriage, but the second he saw the M4, he just conceded. I've never actually seen someone go for this, so I'm not sure exactly how powerful and if it could have fought against the Panzer, but basically he saw it and conceded. He was like, yep, I can't do that. And I doubt he would have done the same for a Puma or especially a Panzer II light tank. However, even though just from the Panzer alone might not have won the game, I was way ahead infantry-wise. He had 7 infantry. I had 6 infantry and double machine gun. And in fact, I was about to have equal amount of sort of traditional infantry, like maneuverable infantry, and then double machine gun. I had 1 defending central VP. And here I actually end up just sacrificing my 222, trying to get information. And didn't realize he had double bazooka. I knew if one of them had a bazooka, but I didn't think 2 of them did. So I thought I could have gotten out with, like, small health, but nope. But even then, I'm okay with that. He even retreated, despite being right outside the base. Which kind of shows, like, that guy was almost full health, so why isn't he pushing out? Like, but he has a bunch of guys full health here, and he's still not pushing out. And, like, look at how many points he has. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 gas point, 1 munition point, a VP, and then 3 regular points. And that's honestly a lot, given how much he's been on the field. Yeah, the second he gets that, he looks over here, sees the Panzer. He also sees his squad get wiped, and he decides to concede. He has 2 cavalry riflemen, 2 riflemen, a lieutenant, and a major. And I have 6 Volksgrenadiers and a Sturm Pioneer. So that's 7 regular infantry versus his 6 regular infantry. And I've got double machine gun. I've got a Panzer, and he's got Hauser. Basically a tank Hauser. Yeah, that alone, he just conceded. Especially, I think, another factor that could have played in was the VPs, which is also why I think he conceded a little quickly, because he still had over 200 VPs left. If he had, like, less than 100, I fully agree with that. But I had pretty much max VPs. He had, like, less than half VPs. So it was definitely an okay concede, to say the least. I would have held in a little longer, but actually, honestly, I might not have. I would say in this scenario, I wouldn't have. I would probably have made one last charge, and if I did get, like, obliterated, then, or if I, like, walked all my guys in machine guns, I might have conceded. But I honestly didn't feel like it was super one-sided, that game, to be honest. So, yeah, I'm a little surprised he just conceded the second he saw the Hauser, and actually, I'm not sure if you might have, I didn't actually talk about this on video, but he actually started making this, or might have started making something else, maybe it might have been the Stuart, and then he actually canceled it, and then started it up again. So, I think one of the reasons he might have rage quit was because he made this, and then the second he made this, he saw the Panzer. If he saw the Panzer, he probably wouldn't have made that and would have built up to maybe like a Sherman. Because, I mean, this is 75 gas, and he's got 18 here, so that's 93 gas. Now, this also allows him to get this more expensive Sherman, but let's say he went for the cheaper Sherman. That's 110 gas, which he wasn't too far away from. It might not have been as good as the Panzer, but it at least could have competed. Also, a question, does Rifleman, I assume not, but does Rifleman upgrade like this count for the Cavalry Rifleman? I would assume not. But yeah, I was placing mines around, which is an interesting thing about this game, which isn't realistic, but I do think is important in this game, is that you can't run over your own mines. Because otherwise I think people would very rarely plant mines. Either that, or they would have to make it like creep trimmers in StarCraft 2, where it's like very obvious where they are. But yeah, decently one-sided game. Honestly, not too one-sided. I think you can see it a little early. He could have done something, but bad timing on making this, and he was definitely heavily behind, so GG, well played. I've got 2 more games I can show you, and I'll show it to you within the next few days. So I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video.